6. We're going to have a moment of silence followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Commissioner Fairchild,
Present.
Commissioner Overly Smith,
Present.
Commissioner Martin, Commissioner Walsh,
Present.
Commissioner Clark.
Okay. I have no president's announcements other than this meeting. Oh, thank you. I have no president's announcements other than this meeting will be live streamed for those who wish to attend virtually. A recording of the meeting will also be available afterward for anyone who cannot join in real time. I'd like to remind speakers to speak directly into the microphone and to clearly state their name and address for the record. First on our agenda tonight, we have the consideration and approval of the minutes for the Board of Commissioners meeting of February 4th, 2026. Do we have any questions or comments or additions to those minutes?
Mr. Chairman, I move we approve the minutes as submitted.
Okay.
Second.
All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. The minutes are approved. Next, we have our consent agenda, the approval of bills in the amount of $571,174.58. I did have just a comment about the bills that the highest bill was for $219,540 for the McCormick Road Bridge payment request. And we should be receiving reimbursement eventually from the county under their small bridge program for part of that expenditure. And then our second highest expenditure was collectively for health and life insurance in the amount of about $184,000. So that's just for information purposes. Do we have a motion on the bills or any other questions or comments?
Move to approve the bills as presented. Second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Next, we have, I think I missed President's recognition of visitors, which is the opportunity for the public to speak for an item not on the agenda. Does anybody wish to speak at this time? Yes, sir.
Paul Brenneman, 2020 Stumpstown Road. Good evening, Commissioners. I'd like to address the start of the last Board of Commissioner meeting, but first I'd like to read some statements from President Fairchild. At the September 17, 2025 Board of Commissioner meeting, he continued expressing concerns that too many matters are being handled without adequate transparency and are often presented to the board and the public at the last minute. He stated this pattern has occurred repeatedly, citing Bishop Bridge as an example. He goes on to say so much is brushed under the rug that the public can't see, and then we get it at the last minute. It's the same old thing. At another meeting, he accused President Martin of controlling the agenda and keeping items off of it. He said President Martin stifled discussion. When President Martin objected, Commissioner Fairchild said, "You let people speak, you just don't listen." He warned President Martin not to lie to residents in this room. At yet another meeting, he said the following: "Yours truly is in favor of an open and transparent process as possible. The bridge discussion shows how much we need board members capable of making complex decisions based on merit versus politics." Now to the last Board of Commissioner meeting. I checked the agenda on Friday the 13th, on Monday the 16th, and called the township office on the 18th, and in every instance, no mention of Bishop Bridge was evident. This is what I find troubling. At the start of the meeting, less than 3 minutes into it, President Fairchild said he had an update on Bishop Bridge. How convenient to have an update but not have it on the agenda. He starts by saying the Pennsylvania State Historic Preservation Office is supportive of the county's giving the township money for the careful disassembly and storage of the bridge for reassembly later. It's been crystal clear the counties have said there is no money for a pedestrian or stored bridge. President Fairchild goes on to state that clarification received that morning from the county that no liquid fuel funds or a $5 registration fee could be used for a pedestrian or disassembled storage bridge, only if it's restored as a vehicular bridge. Again, President Fairchild muddies the water. In a November 18, 2024 letter to the township, Mr. Stoner specifically states with documentation from PennDOT that neither liquid fuel monies nor the $5 registration fee can be used for the bridge unless it's restored to vehicular use. Additionally, I sent the 3 county commissioners and Mr. Stoner an email the day after the February 18th meeting asking several questions and got a response from Mr. Stoner in a couple of hours. One of my questions was exactly what monies would the township receive from the county if it were to take ownership, dismantle, and store the bridge? His answer is that neither county has committed any money to a township-led bridge of any type, project of any type. Furthermore, if the counties were to provide any money, the bridge must be used for vehicular purposes. County funds cannot be used for pedestrian or simply dismantle and store the bridge with no end use in sight. Seems this is old news, yet President Fairchild would leave you to believe this is breaking news. I suppose President Fairchild's motto is do as I say, not as I do. I'm running out of time. I just wonder if you folks check the polls on our township community page, 20-1 against the bridge being taken, and the other poll was 73% against the township taking ownership. But you say it's complicated.
Karen Cochran, 384 Allison Avenue, and I'm representing the Simpson Public Library Board of Trustees. Board of Commissioners, thank you for your steady support of Simpson Library. Your dollar per resident funding model totaling over $24,000 in 2025 is a critical investment that yields a high return for the people of Upper Allen. By the numbers, 2025 was a landmark year. 124,205 total visits to the library in 25. Currently, 5,379 Upper Allen residents are active cardholders. That means 23% of your residents hold library cards. Upper Allen holds the highest percentage of library cards in our 6 municipality service area, which is 20%. We are thrilled to announce the completion of our $2 million capital campaign for the Learning and Book Sales Center. This renovation was achieved with zero taxpayer money, funded 100% by private donations and grants. It stands as a testament to our community's commitment to self-funded growth. Upcoming events include the Friends of the Library book sale the weekend of April 25th and 26th. The Friends sponsor a number of dine-outs throughout the year. If you are not a member of the Friends, please let me know and I will get information for you. The Friends contributed $191,000 to the capital campaign through their fundraising efforts. Beautify the Barriers project has opened. One of your police officers, Trent Malott, assists us with this project over the years. The Summer Learning Kickoff will take place in May at the library. We are proud to be a resource for all residents and look forward to your continued work together. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, Commissioners. Jim Salter, 8 Bradford Court, representing the Upper Allen Mechanicsburg Girls Softball Association. So tonight, I had to come to this board. I contacted Chad Krebs, and unfortunately, they're not going to have a Park and Rec meeting this month. But right now, they're in redoing the floors at the concession stand. And what the ask is I just didn't want to slap paint up on a wall that I technically don't own. Township taxpayers do, and ultimately you guys govern that. So I just wanted to get approval and at least a thumbs up to say that. But what we're asking is the Mechanicsburg High School and their National Art Society to put up on the wall. It's a wall, it's about 25 feet, 10 foot high, is to put a mural on there of like a wildcat, like holding a softball, kicking a soccer ball, because those are the two entities that are primarily down there. I do have art that I can show you It's really cool too. It's first is a plain blank wall. And then the second is like the Wildcat holding the softball. So if I could pass them out and I'll take it.
Did you say this is going to be inside the concession stand or on the outside? Inside, okay. Thank you.
Would it be visible as you go up as a customer?
As a customer,
See it?
yes, it's like, so if I'm facing you and I'm a customer at the concession stand, as I'm ordering the hot dogs and stuff, they would see that on the wall. We would kind of keep that area where it would be. Like I said, I was going to encompass, both sports that utilize that, which is soccer. I just have the cat on there. I didn't have it, but I'm going to have them like kicking a soccer ball, and maybe like a goal net. Yeah, but that's kind of like the rendering, kind of, but I'm going to kind of let the National Art Society, let those students kind of their freedom. There's a couple girls that are on that do play softball. So I was kind of letting the school their creative freedom to be able to kind of make this, an attractive thing. Like I said, it can only be seen inside, when the concession stand's open, but I just wanted to get approval from somebody. I went to Chad. I was going to go through the proper steps of Park and Rec Board, but we have to do it because they're doing the floors and it's open now. And that's the only reason why I'm jumping, the chain of command or the process. So I was just looking for approval.
Are you saying staff is okay with it? Chad is?
Chad is, he just wanted me, he said he was going to
Okay.
contact Caldine.
Caldine is.
And then,
aware.
he said, you should probably come to this board.
And I see
just
two
look-
members of Park and Rec in our audience here,
They're
Jeff and
good.
Nick, and
Perfect.
I think I'm seeing a thumbs up from them. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, my only concern is that it's not just, I love softball. but
Yes, yes.
I want to make sure it's comprehensive so that other sports in the township like soccer are recognized.
Yeah. And that was my initial thought, was we're not going to put boys baseball stuff there because that's, it's boys baseball, but, no, but, it's going to be encompassing that. It's all from the National Art Society and the Mechanicsburg Wildcats would be doing it. So,
I would think they should have final say artistically, how it should be presented.
yeah. And it's going to be no cost to the township. We will pay for the paint, the brushes. Our association will pay for that. So there's no outlying cost, for the for the community. It would be, we would sponsor that.
Who would have a final say on the artwork? I heard you say so-and-so would have final say on the artwork. I didn't know who it was.
The design, it's this council.
Yeah, the
that
girls.
Jim is working with through the high school.
Yeah, through the high school. The national, it is with, Miss Giblin and Paul Bingaman who suggested it, and it's through the National Art Society for the Mechanicsburg Area High School.
I might just suggest as a courtesy, show the final rendition before it's up to Caldine and Chad.
Okay,
So staff.
I can absolutely do that.
Idea.
And I thank you for your time. Yeah, as long as I just have,
Yeah.
an approval, because like I said, I just don't want to put paint up and get in trouble. So,
Need a motion or anything?
Well, it's not on the agenda. We probably can, but. we-
okay,
You aren't
I
getting any
think-
objections.
Yeah.
okay, thank you very
I
much.
understand. That's a good way to put it.
I appreciate your time.
Good evening, Commissioners. Jim Cochran, 384 Allison Avenue. I was unable to attend the February 18th board meeting, but after reviewing the video, I have several concerns regarding Commissioner Fairchild's report on Bishop Bridge. The Commissioner quoted the Pennsylvania State Historic Preservation Officer, SHPO, as being supportive of transferring the bridge to the township, provided the county funds either its careful disassembly or provides equivalent demolition costs for its rehabilitation. Hearing this interested me, and so I called and spoke with Tyra Guyton at PA SHPO for about 30 minutes on Monday. She provided me with a letter dated January 29th, 2026, sent by her manager, Barbara Frederick, to Kirk Stoner at Cumberland County. Notably, Commissioner Fairchild was the only party copied on this letter. Consequently, I'm providing copies tonight for the rest of the board and the public to make sure everyone has equal access to this information. My research revealed several critical points omitted from Commissioner Fairchild's report. First, omitted options. While disassembly was discussed and approved, the letter also confirms that demolition remains a valid option for moving forward with the bridge. Funding realities. We've already heard once tonight, but liquid fuel money can only be used for demolition or vehicular refurbishment. Therefore, any funds given to the township for rehabilitation would have to come from the county's general fund, not from their liquid fuels fund, and their general fund is already well constrained. Some hidden costs. Per my conversation with SHPO, careful disassembly creates a legal obligation to either reassemble the bridge later or pay mitigation funds for the loss of the historic structure. So Upper Island Township will take on more than just the cost of careful disassembly with ownership. They'll also take on the cost of some future outcome for that. Finally, federal oversight. If disassembly requires access to the yellow breaches, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers will need to approve this, and their involvement means the Advisory Committee on Historic Properties, a federal agency, will be involved, and this may trigger a Section 106 guideline review, which significantly increases the project's complexity and cost. So I asked the board, what's your vision for Bishop Bridge? Do you have an engineering-backed total projected cost to support this vision? And where will the funding for this vision come from? I believe proceeding without answers to these questions is fiscally irresponsible and erodes constituent trust in our elected officials. Thanks for hearing me out.
Good evening. My name is Kathleen Fackler. I'm at 916 Sheffield Avenue. I know you from MCC for years and years of coming to quilt sales. The last meeting that I listened to online, I was listening to your piece about the study that they did on the homeless across the county, and you seemed a little surprised by the numbers. I'm here to tell you that for probably 3 or 4 years now, my husband and I have been involved with the elementary schools and the middle school. They do a backpack program, which I'm thinking you're not aware of at all. Every week, they do backpacks for the kids to take home so they have sustainable, shelf-stable food over the weekend because they're not in school Monday, on the weekends. My husband and I have gone above and beyond with this program. We use our personal money. My adult daughters donate to this as well. They do 135 backpacks out of the middle school every single week. And I need you to understand that. It is every single week. In the middle school, they're doing approximately 110 every single week, every week. So the kids from the skills class, they get together Tuesday or Wednesday. They have a pantry in both of the schools. They fill the backpacks or the bags. The kids take them home. They bring them back. They take them home. They bring them back. The Bishop Bridge shouldn't even be a consideration when we have kids in this township, in this school district that have no food in their house through the weekend. And yet people like me and other people who help me are helping these kids. We don't need this bridge. Thank you.
Ma'am. I'm sorry, I have a follow-up question for you. I'm sorry. Does the program provide food during the summer as well?
So they go to the parks. They do a food through the school, through, I don't know, Brock, can you help me out? They do it through the school. It's not necessarily through the social workers at the school, but there is a program through the playground thing that they do, and they provide food through them.
Okay.
Because come May, I stop buying because the backpack program stops. I start again in September when the kids are back in school.
I'd love to get more information on the
They're
program.
actually looking to initiate this program at the high school as well.
Okay.
I need you all to understand the gravity of this situation. These kids, if they weren't getting what they're getting in school, they're getting nothing. So when I buy things And, you know, I hate buying what I buy, but I'm buying ramen because they can take it home, they can put water in it. I can't buy mac and cheese because I don't know if they have milk and butter to put in it to make it. So I have to buy this processed food, but it's something that they have. So they can take the lid off, put the water in it, put it in the microwave, and they have food to eat. So when I hear this thing about this bridge,
Getting back to the backpack program, where can we get more information? I mean, is it pretty much around you and your family, or is it a?
oh, no, no, so what we do is just a supplement to this program.
Okay.
There's a pantry at the middle school. There's a pantry at the elementary school. Megan Garrison is my contact at, you know, I don't have a kid in the district. I have a grandchild in the district at the school down off of Shepherdstown Road. Is it Elmwood? Something? I don't know. That's where I meet Megan. And Missy Kaufman is the young lady at the middle school. And that's who I meet when I take my things. And now I've connected myself with an auctioneer, and then there's another location out in Lewisberry. This gentleman brings food in, and he's very graciously allowed me to do a 20% discount. But, you know, we go to BJ's, we go to Costco, we go wherever we can get shelf-stable food. The one thing I can't get that I wish I could get is shelf-stable milk, because that would open up so much for me. It's so expensive that for me to put that money into it instead of buying a box of pretzels with 60 little bags in it for $5, that's going to go to 60 backpacks as opposed to a $15 container of milk. I can't in my head justify that. But that's how that works. And those are my two contacts. I'd be happy to send some information or have Megan send some information, because
Can you give your or someone's information, make sure Alexis gets that so that,
who's Alexis?
oh,
Okay.
she's our secretary.
That's fine.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of the name and contact, because I don't know that it's a project at this point that the township's interested in, but I'm sensing there might be some of us individually that would like to learn more about it.
Okay. All right. I appreciate it.
But
Thank
thanks
you.
for your work that you do for our community.
Brady, I think we're ready for the public safety reports.
Before they get started, may I make the announcement, guys? P25 radios are live.
And for the most part, working well. We have had a couple incidents where none of our pagers went off. We didn't know we had a call until, but this few small bugs, we're working them out, and hopefully we'll be all good here come directly. So, February was a fairly busy month. I will have my report for the next meeting along with the incentive report. So you'll be getting them both for the next meeting. This month, the department's concentrating on getting all of our hazmat training up to date so we can all run again this year. Other than that, any questions?
Thank you. This past week, Lieutenant Barnes and I met with Mechanicsburg School District and Mechanicsburg Police Department for a breakfast meeting. That was very informative. We discussed things such as school safety, the district resource officer position, crosswalk safety, and the bus patrol system, which is cameras on the school buses. Since August of 25, our officer has approved 255 citations to be mailed out for motorists who are passing by a stop bus arm.
Oh, wow.
So that's a lot. It's kind of shocking, actually. There will be a meeting with Commissioner Martin and Commissioner Overly Smith next week with the school board to discuss further district resource officer position. And other than that, I'll take any questions.
That is shocking to me that
That's
there's
amazing.
that many,
Did you say
kind of-
since August of this year?
August of 25 until February 6th of 26. 255 citations for driving past, yes, that's a lot. So, but I can't help but think the word's getting out. People are getting citations. So everybody should be aware that all Mechanicsburg School District buses have cameras on them. So,
The process is you review each incident or the video.
correct.
Okay. All righty. Next we have Planning and Zoning Committee. Do we have any reports there? I believe so. Okay. Yeah, we have the consideration action of the preliminary final subdivision plan for Stratton Park Townhomes, UAT file number PZ 2504-02.
Good evening, Steve Albrandt from McNeese on behalf of CPY Properties for the Stratton Park Townhomes development. Obviously, this has been an ongoing process, and for the record, I briefly want to walk through three of the items that were raised the last time we were here, which we feel we've addressed since that time. Number one being the geological report. Phil brought that up at the last meeting we were here. Wanted to directly address specific criteria. We had a ECS prepare an updated geological report that covered all of the items that were of concern. And that was presented to the board, I think back in February. Then the second item would be the ingress, egress, and the driveway location. This was a concern primarily for safety and visibility reasons. We went out and we had our traffic engineer stake off the driveway to show you exactly kind of where that's going to lie. And then there was a suggestion from the township engineer regarding raising the elevation of the entranceway. We explored that with our traffic engineer team, as well as some collaboration with PennDOT, and we determined that the maximum elevation and slope has already been achieved at that entrance. So we're kind of limited there. What we did to help with that, though, is we've actually kind of reduced the berms on either side. So rather than, having a car come up and having to look around that, it has a better line of sight from farther back. So that's kind of addressed there. We do have our HOP technical approval that was discussed last meeting as well. The only reason we don't have it in hand is because they're waiting for financial security, obviously, and we can't provide that until the plan is approved from the commissioners. Lastly, the parking in the cul-de-sac. There was concern about people if they would park in the cul-de-sac with a turning radius for a fire truck or something like that, emergency vehicles. We have agreed to install no parking signs around that cul-de-sac and include contact information for a local towing company. This approach addresses the board's concerns about vehicles obstructing the turning movements in the area. And then finally, there was one other comment, but it wasn't brought up at the last meeting. I think it was subsequent to that, for additional screening for the property across the street. There is some existing vegetation there, but we have discussed including an additional row of arbor vitae to provide additional buffering for headlights or other glares that are coming from the entranceway. So in summary, since our last time we spoke, we have an updated geological report that we provided to you for review. Our driveway entrance has been staked out and evaluated for possible modification. The no parking signage and enforcement measures will be installed in the cul-de-sac. And our developer has agreed to install additional screening for the property owner across the street. So tonight we're seeking approval for our preliminary final subdivision and land development plan. And I'm happy to take any questions, or if you have any specific questions, I have Josh Wielder, our project engineer, and Jared Near, our traffic engineer here as well.
I would say just, and maybe you're already aware, 3 commissioners toured the site with with township staff, Mike Weld and Keldine Stamball, our manager, and Jason Reichart of CS Davidson. And we did, note a visibility problem, especially like looking to the left, from you're exiting the property. Like a car disappears, and we were trying to gauge where 3.5 feet high and gauge where we were in a car. But I understand the grade is going to change and all that. It's basically an engineering correction or calculation that it will work out. Obviously, you have approval. Right. I have one question unrelated to any of the conditions before we get there, but it's basically where the existing driveway is.
Very slightly different. Yeah, it's, if you look at it from overhead, it's, I don't know, a couple feet or so left or right. It's not like in a totally different area on the property.
Wait, which is it, left or right?
Oh, I don't remember. Do you remember, Jeff? Yeah, it's really very close.
I thought it was just slightly further east, but I don't know.
So I didn't understand the rationale for demolishing the historic farmhouse there. And then there's also a pole barn out near the side of the property. I just didn't understand why it would seem to be an economic benefit just to keep that and maybe build 18 townhomes instead of 19. But, or is it in the way? It didn't appear to be in the way, but I guess it is.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we determined as a team. Our developer, I mean, it's his property. We have the right to demolish it. So it was in the best interest of the development. If you have a technical specification question, we're happy to answer that. But from a practical perspective, it was just easier to demolish.
I can just add that a little bit. This is what.
Introduce yourself.
Yeah, Josh Weidler with BL Companies, civil engineer for the project. That aspect of the demolition of the farmhouse was discussed, and the owner actually has agreed to take in the wood material, especially the wood material there, for use elsewhere. So it's not like it's going to be just demolished, but that material will be used elsewhere, preserved. So
Are you referring to the 1700s log structure, the timbers themselves, or are we talking about elements
the
within
timbers themselves, yeah.
The actual
Yep.
log structure itself would be
That-
dismantled, numbered?
Sorry, not for reconstruction. It's not for reconstruction, reuse of the wood in there. Yeah. So again, just wanted to clear, it's not full preservation or rebuilding, like it's not that, but it is, a step in.
It's going to be destroyed. It's his
Yep.
property, so he does what he wants.
I just, as an aside, I just have to say this for my own satisfaction. I find it curious. This township has spent a lot of time and energy and rational conversation to try to preserve historic structures and make sure that we do that. And here's one that we just kind of rip down and don't really care about. So I guess it depends what neighborhood you live in as to whether it's important or not. But obviously it's not for this one.
I think it's probably on the board to modify the ordinance to give further protection to historic properties. I mean, that's something we can do, and I think something we will look at. We have a historic districts and HARB and all that, and that ordinance needs modified anyway. But try to keep maybe some incentive to preserve the older buildings. I think it does date to the 1700s, and it's unique. And so, and then what's the rationale for the little pole barn that's off to the side to also demolish that? I thought that would have utility for like storing equipment or maintaining the property.
Just not needed, I don't think. From a developer perspective, I mean, it's all going to be brand new structures. We don't really need it at this time. So that's all. Nothing personal against it.
Well, thanks. That just became more apparent, when looking at where the existing driveway is and what will be used.
I just wanted to mention, I appreciate your willingness to at least consider the egress and ingress and try to trim down those banks. I think that will, I don't think it'll solve the problem from my viewpoint, but I think it will assist that issue. It should give better clearance. So thanks for at least considering that. I know there was discussion and you've asked for a deferral in terms of curbs and sidewalks, and that makes sense because there's none. But there was a suggestion by our engineer that the radius of the driveway be curbed. And I think that makes sense just for demarcation and not breaking down of the roadway and just to stabilize any erosion, et cetera. So I don't know where you guys are at on that, but I, for one, would certainly favor requiring the radius of the driveway as it comes on to Lisburn Road to be curbed. And then I do have a question about the parking. Thank you at least for acknowledging it's a potential issue. You're going to have a contract service. I think that's positive, but how do we know, and this is, I guess, a legal question, Josh, how can we assure or put some teeth in that warrant that in 1 year, 3 years, I don't know how long I'm going to be around, 20 years, that's optimistic. But supposing I am, that it's still going to be maintained and that a third party is going to monitor it, or you can put a sign up and nothing happens. I mean, do you understand my question? How can we be assured that parking is going to be cared for after this developer completes the project and goes on to the next?
Well, the conditions of approval are going to be on the recorded plan, and if if those conditions are not being complied with in the future, the township can bring a legal action to enforce those conditions, which is what we did against the Gutshaw estate.
So we can make that a condition of approval that they must, and you can think of wording, but that they must post no parking signs and monitor or enforce the no parking with a third party contractor.
As long as the applicant agrees,
Yeah,
yeah.
right, okay. Okay, thank you, that's helpful. I did have a question about, I'm still a little bit concerned, even though we reduced the radius of the turnaround and, you've tried to address parking. I think it's going to get clogged up at some point. That's just, there's parties, there's reunions, there's whatever. And I'm still intrigued with the, excuse me, the idea that there could be a overflow entrance or a secondary emergency exit over into Oakwood Hills. Now, you said in your comments that you have inquired of them or have had conversation with them about doing that. Is that correct?
So we did look into that earlier because that had been brought up. I think the
Yeah.
planning commission might have brought it up as well. And honestly, the developer would have been interested in doing that because a second entrance would mean possibly 13 more townhomes. But the grade there really prevents that. It actually gets pretty steep between there. And there's also some stormwater structures as well. So it wasn't really feasible to come to any kind of agreement with the neighbor.
No, I was just curious, and I will find this later before we're done with this topic, but there was a comment made in our staff responses that you had checked with the neighboring property owner, I believe. Did you have a conversation with Oakwood Hills?
I believe we did. I personally didn't, so I can't, testify to what that was. I believe the owner might have spoken to the owner though.
I was just curious because I talked to the CEO of that organization this afternoon and he has no record or recollection of any contact from you folks. So I was just curious. I mean, you're not under oath, but I like.
The idea was investigated is how it's.
Okay, yeah. The idea was investigated, but was determined on because of slopes, et cetera. So I apologize. I guess you didn't warrant that you actually talked to them. You just made an assumption before you talked to them. Okay, thank you. And then I also saw a willingness to plant some screening arborvitae perhaps. And I think we could, with township staff, et cetera, and the neighbors involved, maybe I might recommend green giant arborvitae or something that deer doesn't chew on, but I would like as a condition that, both 235 West Lisburn as well as 303, the house that's just to the west of your property there, that small house. I think as cars come out and they swing right, they're going to be shining right in that house as well. So I don't know, but if they would want an arborvitae or two, or some kind of screening, minimal, I think if you'd be open to that, it would certainly go a long way for.
We would. What was the address for that one again?
It would be 235 and 303.
303. Thank you.
Thank you. I have no more questions.
Yeah, I had a quick question, Mr. President. Just getting back to the geotechnical report briefly. First of all, thank you. This document is I think fairly well put together and comprehensive, but I did have two minor questions. the under 4.0 karst assessment. You do a good job of listing out the ordinance requirements with the bullets, the last one being referencing bedrock pinnacles within 25 feet. I noticed in the test pit logs that the deepest you went was 8 feet. And I'm just wondering how you can make that determination that you're more than 25 feet if you only went 8 feet.
So there were actually two reports prepared, an earlier one where the borings were more associated with the building structures themselves that did go deeper.
Okay.
So I can speak to that, yeah.
Were they in the area of the
Yeah.
stormwater?
Yes.
Okay,
yeah.
good. That's fine. I'll go back to that. And then the other thing is, was there any, I didn't see any reference to the Bowmansdale Cave in the report. This is something that's been reportedly known since 1880 and includes stalactites, stalagmites. It's not simply a fissure, shallow fissure of some sort on a bedding plane. Did you come across any references to that or make any determination as to what the extent of that cavern was?
So I would have to go back to the geotech, the geologist, professional geologist on this to find out if they had anything and whether they just didn't reference it or it didn't come up.
Okay, and I'm not terribly worried about it. It is referenced as being on the east side of Bumblebee Hollow Road, the entrance, I should say.
Okay.
Where it goes, I don't know. And I'm not looking to make hay out of this, but I'd be more comfortable going forward with this if there could be an additional condition that would be the inclusion on the cover sheet of the drawings that would be sealed by a PG that simply stated 21421 under carbonate geology A, just that one sentence followed by the 6 bullets, and that a PG seal that no stormwater management facility will be placed in, over, or immediately adjacent to the following features. And then those 6 features are listed out.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. We can definitely
Okay,
do that.
that'd be great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Anyone else? We ready for motions?
Which condition, help me, references the visual screening?
I don't think it's in here, is it?
I don't think it would have been in any of the past documentation.
Oh, okay.
We're talking about that right now.
Okay, right. Are you, let me try to pen out an additional condition and see if you agree with it. How's that? Go ahead. Oh,
Yeah, we could do that on B, what, condition 25? And this, what Phil suggests, is that condition number 26?
Yeah, that could be 26. Yeah.
I know we said no more, or your turn. Wanted no more.
Let's make it an even 30.
Obviously, yeah, it's a reasonable discussion, so thank you.
No problem.
may I just read this to you and then we'll edit this as we go, but the applicant agrees to provide agreed upon screening to the properties of 235 and 303 West Lisbon Road. And maybe, do you want an example like
Yeah, put an example in
arborvitae,
parentheses.
for
would be what-
example,
That'd be fine.
to provide agreed upon screening, for example, green giant arborvitae, and I don't care if it's, but I just know they're deer resistant. I mean, it's not talking about the quantities or whatever. I think that's something that regional people can, we're not looking for, I don't think those property owners are looking for a forest. I think they're just looking for something to help block because as you suggest, there is some existing vegetation, which is, some of it's arborvitae, most of it's crap, and they may want to take some of that down and put 2 or 3 arborvitaes there or something. Okay. That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
We ready?
Did you want me to?
Yeah, if you have yours, you should read it to them
The
now.
26th. Okay, sure. Something along the lines of the applicant agrees to add the following to the plan sheet sealed by a professional geologist. And that would include the statement from the ordinance, which states no stormwater management facility will be placed in, over, or immediately adjacent to the following features, followed by the 6 bullets referencing those karst features.
I'm a little confused just reading this first motion about the deferral of the curbing. Where is the one about the radii of the entryway? Is that part of this or it doesn't?
I think we got.
I think Jennifer's going to propose something be added to that. Pardon me?
Curbing's already in. Yeah.
Yes.
I think they're talking about that,
The driveway radii.
The driveway.
Right, okay, the
Yeah.
driveway curb, yeah, so the curbing's already on, I thought it was, yeah. So curbing already extends through the radius on the HOP plans.
As the driveway comes out,
Yeah.
And is that slant curbing or the higher type or?
So we don't need that.
Say that again?
You say it in English because we're not engineers, Jared.
Jared Neal at TBD. Yeah, when we designed the driveway, we did a full, so not the slant curb, but it'll be a full 8-inch reveal. So you'll have a full-size curb there. It'll come down the radii, and then you have your curb end tapers to tie back into the shoulders.
And that helps with stormwater too, I'm thinking.
Yep,
Okay.
absolutely.
Again, because it pulls back kind of the soil there from washing out over the road.
Yep.
Okay,
Got it. Okay, I think I can handle the first one.
okay. Thank you.
I move to approve the deferral request of section 220-5.3.a, subsection 2, to provide curbing along West Lisburn Road. The applicant states that the stormwater control on the community arterial road is through an adjacent swale, which would otherwise be required to be removed for stormwater conveyance through an underground system, including the curbing along the radii of the proposed driveway as shown on the plan.
I second.
there you go. I mean, it's just reinforcing what your colleague said, that is all.
All those in favor?
Well, there should,
Aye.
there might be audience discussion, I don't know.
Oh.
You should always ask for discussion
When? No.
after a motion, yeah.
Okay. Do we have any
Vote.
audience comment on the plan? Not hearing any, so, okay. I think we can proceed. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. None opposed, so that deferral is approved. Who is doing the second deferral?
I move to approve the deferral request of section 220-5.3.b3 to provide sidewalks along West Lisburn Road. There are no existing sidewalks for over 1 mile to the east or west along West Lisburn Road.
Second.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That motion, that deferral is also approved. Next, we get into modifications. It would be, do we have a motion in that department?
I move to approve the modification request of the requirements of section 220-5.4.b subsection 4 to reduce the minimum diameter of the paved turnaround from 100 feet to 96 feet. The applicant states the reduced diameter better aligns with the conflicting 80-foot diameter requirements, section 220-5.2.f subsection 2, compared to the fire code and preference from the fire department and fire marshal.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
That motion, modification is approved. Next, we have the suggestion motion on the plan action. And this is to improve, would be moved to approve, disapprove the preliminary final subdivision land development plan known as Stratton Park Townhomes, UAT file number PZ 2504-02 with the following conditions. And we have 26 conditions. I don't believe we have to repeat.
I'll read them all.
Any of those.
Please don't.
Okay. Do we have a second on that motion?
I second.
Did you make the motion?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, that plan is approved with the conditions.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Appreciate your time.
Before we move on, I just want to make sure we thank you all. I have not been involved with this project as long as the rest of the board members, so I've only gotten a piece of it, and I just really appreciate you being willing to work with us on it.
So we have advisory information about zoning hearing board meeting on March the 12th, which has been canceled or continued to April the 9th. Do you have anything in addition to say, Mike?
Yeah, it was continued due to a lack of quorum. We only had 2 members able to meet at, on this month's meeting. So we pushed both those off to April now. 2 applications. One is a sign application for the new hotel going up on Cumberland Parkway. And they want to install 5 signs, 4 on each face of the building, plus 1 monument sign where they would be allowed 2 by right. And the other application is part of a subdivision plan where it's in the Village District down in Grantham, adjacent to the Grantham Pond. And they're joining some lots together. They've also purchased some of the Paper Street alleys that are between their lots to facilitate the joining of the lots. And before they can come to you with a subdivision plan, they need to go to the zoning hearing board because they would be exceeding the maximum lot area in the Village District. And because some of the structures on their lot are too close to the property line and they're seeking the variance for the front yard setback.
Do we have a visual of that? I'm sorry, I should have asked you that before. That would be great, Mike, because, you know, I'm a slow learner. I have to have a picture. And while you're pulling that up, on the other one, I would make a comment. I understand the hotel and the need for signage. And I think it's important as you're traveling on the Turnpike or 15, or if you're an out-of-town resident, you want to be able to see it. But I was just really curious, and if the applicant would be here, I would ask him, because apparently the signs that are requested are a requirement of Hyatt. And so why in the world would you start building a hotel and wanting to put signs up and then say, oh, gee, by the way, if we can open this thing, we have to have signs? I mean, wouldn't you, it feels like the applicant maybe didn't really do their due diligence. And I'm not against the hotel. I'm not against Hyatt. I just find that curious.
And while they say that it might be a requirement of Hyatt, we've had that situation before with other sign applications where they say it's a requirement of the parent company, but the parent company ends up saying it's okay for less than that. So while they say it's a requirement, it may not be a deal breaker.
They might have been using that for a little bit more leverage on their part. Thanks.
So this is a subdivision plan on, in Grantham. Up to the north there is Grantham Pond. They want to join this large property here in with this lot right here.
Where's Grantham Road?
Grantham Road is just to the south. They're on Grantham Road.
Okay, yes. And who owns the big property, the big
They
square?
own all 3 lots.
Oh, okay.
But they're for this one right here,
Yeah.
Paper Alley, they're joining it into this lot only
Okay.
because they have a shed there and they're required to remove nonconformities. So I made them make sure they get that right of way in with that lot instead to make that property conforming. And for these 2 here, they want to build some accessory structures, and I said they couldn't do it because you can't have an accessory structure as a primary structure on a lot. So the only way they can put the buildings they want on that lot is to first join that with the home that's down on Grantham Road.
So they're proposing to consolidate the 3 lots.
In addition to some of the Paper Street outlets,
Yeah, okay.
yes. So you've got some areas in here and along the side here as well that are Paper Streets. They also took half of this one back here, which is up near the pond.
Yeah.
But they've had that for a while now.
Okay. Okay, that makes it, but why do they have to come in front of ZHB to do that?
So there's two issues that they need the variances for. The first is they exceed the maximum lot area allowed in the village district, which we only allow 12,000 square feet. And this goes significantly over
Gotcha.
that square
Okay.
footage. And the second one is for this building right here and this building right here. They're closer than 15 feet to the property line. So they purchased the right of ways where they can for the paper streets, but it still doesn't get them the whole way to be conforming. So they're seeking the variance for those front yard setbacks.
But they're existing buildings now, right?
They're existing.
Okay. Thank you, Michael. And, you know, my old eyes couldn't quite read the red print on that. It's pretty small, so not your fault, but
We have,
yeah, that makes sense.
ready to move on? Public Improvements Committee, are there any reports or information? No. Okay, now we're down to the sanitary sewer system and consideration. It's agenda item 5A, Gettysburg Pike and West Lisburn Road Sanitary Sewer Replacement Project. Consideration of Exhibit A-28 to master agreement with GHD Inc. for the professional engineering services. So I see Cody and Joel from GHD, and maybe you can give us some more color on this.
Yep. Good evening, Commissioners. In front of you tonight for consideration is Exhibit A-28, as mentioned, to the master agreement between GHD and Upper Allen Township regarding Gettysburg Pike and West Lisburn Road sanitary sewer pipe replacement project. The detailed exhibit includes the professional services which will be provided by GHD to include project management, preliminary design, permitting, and an allowance for SU or subsurface utility engineering, final design, and bid and award at a cost of $87,700, which would not be exceeded without further approval from the Board of Commissioners. Upper Allen Township has budgeted $400,000 in 2026 for total project costs. Last week, the Sewer Advisory Board did recommend that the Board of Commissioners approve the agreement. Joel Kostelek and I are here to answer any questions you may have.
What is it that we're doing?
It's at the intersection, West Lisburn Road, Gettysburg Pike.
It's down by the Henny Market?
That's exactly right. Yes.
That's what are we doing? Just replacing pipe or?
Yes, a section of existing, yeah, a little more background.
Yeah.
So there's, back in May of 2025, I joked with the Sewer Advisory Board, well, I didn't joke, but couldn't have happened on a worse Saturday. It was graduation at Messiah University, and the Outlaws were at the Williams Grove that weekend. And we got a call for a sanitary sewer overflow out of a manhole at that intersection. So, staff, responded, resolved the issues with the township Vector truck, relieved the blockage. And then I believe it was that next business day, Monday, we televised it with the township televising truck, and a lot of sags, a lot of cracks, pipe is underwater, a lot of grease. The grease settles into those sags, obviously. So yeah, there's a portion. Thank you, Mike. You don't have GIS up, do you, Mike? Okay, that's fine. If you could just zoom in a little, Mike. Right where your cursor's at, right on the intersection. Oh, okay. So we have current existing sanitary sewer line coming from the west, from West Lisburn Road, towards Route 15 is on the right to orient everybody, north-south. This is Gettysburg Pike, West Lisburn. Comes basically into a manhole in the middle of that intersection, which, in 1972, when the pipe was installed, certainly wasn't as busy and congested as it is today. And then it actually makes, and Joel could even touch on this, but it makes a less than 90-degree turn at the manhole, which is not standard practice. So there's even a tight turn there. And like I said, we televised, and then it flows actually south on Gettysburg Pike, and then does kick into the right of way about at the bottom of the map. You can see, and then follows 15 down, goes under 15, and ends up at the Grantham Wastewater Treatment Plant. But there's, it's approximately 300 feet of pipe that are in fairly bad condition. And, we had the sanitary sewer overflow. We don't want that to happen again. So it really couldn't be at I mean, I guess you can make a case that maybe the intersection right out here is the worst intersection in the township, but it's not a fun place to be in for staff to physically get to that manhole, even to do maintenance is, it just involves a lot. It involves public works and gauge, as everybody knows, putting the light on red flash, and it's just not a safe atmosphere. So we're kind of considering some options, and Joel, you can certainly go over it, but maybe kind of cutting the corner with some new pipe installation, not exactly putting the new pipe in the same location.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, and that's in the proposal. We consider two alternatives.
Then there'd be a new manhole too, maybe?
That's right. Yeah. The aim would be to realign those two segments of sanitary sewer to pull as much out of it out of the middle of the intersection as we can. It would require, several new manholes, obviously new pipe to make that go from what is essentially call it a 70-degree turn to something a little calmer. And obviously, as you can imagine, that promotes better flow through the pipe and spare the gory details for the public, but makes things move a little better through the limits.
No pun intended, huh?
Exactly. It is a complex intersection though, as you all know, PennDOT's done work there. There's signalization, there's the ADA ramps, there's plenty of things in the way in that intersection as well, which makes this somewhat complicated project for what amounts to, sort of a short few runs of pipe.
So are the engineering fees in the $400,000, or they would be in addition?
No, they are budgeted within that 400,000 total project cost, correct?
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I'm convinced. I would move to approve Exhibit A28 to agreement between Upper Allen Township and GHD for professional services for the Gettysburg Pike and West Lisbon Road Sanitary Sewer Pipe Replacement Project at a cost not to exceed $87,700.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have the Administrative Committee, and is there any comment on the township solar project contract?
I had a question. We talked about the solar project for a long while, et cetera, and I think Chad did a good job, or rather Zach did a good job of rationale for why he's suggesting we get a third-party professional. But I'm just curious, did we know when we signed up with Lear that we were going to be responsible to file those tax forms and stuff? Or is this like, now that we're signed up and doing a solar project, Lear says, oh, by the way, I think you guys have to. It just feels, and I don't want to cast aspersions that they were dishonest, but why wouldn't they have proposed that they would? I thought we were buying a complete project when we contracted with these guys.
I kind of look at it like getting a second opinion on the tax credit aspect.
So there are a few ways that we could have done it, and we did our due diligence in looking at what the best way is and most responsible way for the government entity to acquire the tax credit. So it was more of a technical decision on our part to go this direction.
Okay, I respect that, but so Lear never warned it to us that they would do that work and get the tax credit for us?
I believe that was discussed, and that would have been prior to my arrival, so I can't speak firsthand or secondhand, but based off of the data and information that was in front of me, it did appear that was discussed and that was going that direction prior to.
And I'm fine. I, for one, have not been impressed with this vendor. We've been dealing with them for gosh knows how long, and it seems like we always get a different price or something else changes. So I guess my reservation is more just my own reaction to what I feel is less than a a professional approach on their part, but I'm certainly applauding what staff is doing. I'm 100% behind it. It's just, I have reservations about this vendor.
And there was, some changes in regards to the tax credits and solar energy during the process of making the decision and considering the project. So,
Fine.
Is it,
go ahead.
no, is it accurate to say like the contractor was basically guaranteeing the pass through? They were reducing their cost. They were, if it didn't come through, they were honor that, I thought.
Yes, that was their position, is that they were going to wait for the decision and make the necessary arrangements to get us that tax credit. For the benefit of the public, the solar project that was presented in previous meetings, the two actions before the board this evening are the first one, which you had just referenced, was to accept the contract with Lyra Electric to install the panels on the township building. And the second motion that we will need this evening is to authorize Mayor Duzel to complete and file the required IRS forms associated with the clean energy tax credit for the project.
There's a reduction in the number of panels, I think, than what had been discussed before. If I remember right, so the cost is less than what was budgeted on that basis. We have any comment from the public about the solar project? Do we have a motion?
So everyone is aware, I mean, I think it's the right thing to do, but this is a long haul. We're going to save $1.2 million over 25 years. That's a long payback, but.
So we have a motion.
I move we accept the contract with Lyra Electric to install 421 panel solar array on the township building not to exceed the contract value of $627,726.
Okay, thank you.
Second.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Right. Contract is approved.
Then I would move,
Streeter.
Mr.
Yep.
Chairman, that we authorize Mayor Duzel to complete and file the required IRS forms associated with the clean energy tax credit for the solar project at a cost not to exceed $8,500.
Second.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
So that is approved. Next, we have item 6B, the appointment of volunteers to the advisory boards. Wanted the public to know that we had a good outpouring of interest, and we appreciate the time and recommendations shared by the various leaders of the respective committees, the board, and the commissions. We have an impressive group of applicants competing for a limited number of vacancies, willing to volunteer their time and expertise on a board or committee for Upper Allen Township. We greatly appreciate their willingness to serve. With a fair approach, the Board of Commissioners is using a ranking system to select the individuals for appointment. Each commissioner was provided with applicant information, participated in interviews with each candidate, and immediately prior to the meeting this evening, completed a ranking form and submitted it to our recording secretary, Alexis Manana. Alexis has tallied and presented the list. The top ranked individuals will be appointed to fill the current vacancies. The following individuals were selected to serve. We have William Sumter Shep for the HARB term ending December 31st, 2030. We have Judy Bailey for Parks and Recreation Committee for the term ending December 31st, 2026. We have Jeff Clucky for the Parks and Recreation Committee for the term ending December 31st, 2030. We have Eric Weinick for the Planning Commission for the term ending December 31st, 2029. We have John Gillespie for the Police Civil Service Commission term ending December 31st, 2031. We have Brennan Becker for the Sewer Advisory Board term ending December 31st, 2026. We have Chelsea Leby for the Zoning Hearing Board term ending December 31st, 2030. We have Richard Daniel for the Planning Commission term ending December 31st, 2029, and also to serve as an alternate for the Police Civil Service Committee. So those are appointments for those terms.
Who was Planning Commission again?
I believe it was Eric Weinick and Richard Daniel. And Alexa, we'll have a list we can share. The remaining boards will make a copy.
Will the tally sheets be posted for public display or must we file a right to know? I believe anytime you take a vote, the vote has to be for public display.
My recommendation would be to attach the score sheets to the minutes. Or the final results.
The ranking sheets.
Oh, and then the score sheets can be requested through the right to know.
All right. Next, we have an update on the 2026.
We voted them or you just appointed?
What's that?
Do we vote or you appointed those, right?
Oh, do we need a vote on that?
Yeah, I don't believe this was brought to my attention beforehand, but there should be a vote of the commissioners to affirm these nominations. There should be a public vote.
Okay. So we have a motion to affirm.
So
the
moved.
appointments.
Second.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Thank you for filling in that detail. So next we have an update on the 2026 Fall Festival.
In a recent staff and volunteer planning meeting for the 2026 Fall Festival, we discussed a similar approach to last year's event plans. The Fall Festival will take place on Friday, September 25th from 4 to 9 p.m. at Winding Hill Park North. We will plan a special component of the event in celebration of our country's 250th anniversary, and details to be determined on that component. In 2025, we enjoyed an extra special feature of a drone light display for the 175th anniversary of Upper Allen Township. The committee requested direction from the commissioners on the expectation if we should accept sponsors once again and schedule a drones light display this year. This is not a request for this evening for action. I will follow up with Commissioner Clark and Commissioner Fairchild, who are the appointed liaisons for Park and Rec Committee regarding the drone show.
Okay, thank you.
Are you suggesting from that if others on the board have input, we should give it to you through Eric or Jen? Or I didn't understand your comment.
You can share your opinion with the designated representatives.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Do we have any separate information for the Park and Recreation Committee at this point? Okay. So now we're down to the miscellaneous.
Wait, I do, we're having, sorry, a little Bird Town update. Our next meeting is next Wednesday at 8 a.m. It's going to be in here. We're offering it on Zoom. Also, we scheduled another series of bird walks. So that's going to happen on Sunday, May 3rd. The first walk will start at 8. The second walk will start at 9. We're going to use our new software Rec Track to allow people to register for that, to kind of streamline the process. But it was very popular last time, so I'm hoping it will be popular again.
Thank you. So we're down to the miscellaneous part of our agenda. Do we have a solicitor update?
No update this evening.
Okay. How about a tax collection committee update? None. Capital Region COG update?
No report.
None. Municipal Advisory Board update?
No report.
Okay. Pennsylvania State Association of Township Commissioners?
No report.
Update. Okay. Now we have time for additional public comment, if any. Okay, not hearing any. We didn't discuss whether we needed an executive session, but there's some ongoing legal issues, I think personnel.
For personnel,
Okay.
we need an executive session for personnel. Short
Okay.
person.
I have a legal question
And,
to
and.
incorporate in that.
Yes, and we can also have an executive session to receive privileged advice from the solicitor.
Okay, thank you. All right, we're going to go into executive session. Thanks for everybody for coming out tonight.